Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Strv S1. It's a Tier 8 Swedish premium tank destroyer. It's located on the north spawn of Malinovka and it's under the command of Clean Sweeper Marksman. Now, what can I tell you about this little tank? Well, it's one of the prototypes on the way to devising the S-Tank, which culminated in the Strv 103B. The S1 has a 105mm gun capable of 390 alpha, and it'll go through 288mm with standard ammo, and with the premium rounds it'll go through 330. Well, what's so great about it is the shell velocity. It's very high indeed, 1400 meters per second, and that means that you basically just point and shoot at the enemy using the suspension of the vehicle to adjust the aim. Looks like that ELC Evan 90 went into the bush and suddenly learned that was a bad decision because he's got taken out the game. Well, looks like Clean Sweeper Marksman's going to go up onto the hill and try and get shots on the enemy that have been spotted. There's bound to be some enemy in the hill opposite. Oh, yep, there are. There's already some there. Progetto and a Scorpion. He's going to siege mode. Okay, basically in siege mode, the vehicle goes tilts or goes into a position whereby it can actually aim using the hydraulics instead of actually driving, and well, it's much easier to get accurate shots in siege mode than it is in standard mode. Progetto seems like he wants to pop up, but he's got very low hit points left, and that Marask has decided he wants to be elsewhere. A bit too hot around here. Well, looks like the enemy are going up onto the hill as well. Got a Basante, and the first hit. 345 hit points. A low roll. Oh, looks like we've got a friendly tank right alongside us. Yeah, it's a 122 TM. And he's kind of blocking our shots at the moment, so we're having to move forward. And when you move forward under siege mode, your speed is kind of limited. This is one of the few tank destroyers that actually moves backwards as fast as it moves forward. It's 50 kilometers an hour forwards, 45 back. He gets another shot into a Progetto this time. Now, the reload time by the book is 9.78 seconds, but he's managed to get it down to 8.28. And that's important because it is quite a long reload, really. But it's long if you think about it for other tank destroyers. But then if you remember that a lot of the tank destroyers which can do about 390 do have around about the same for their reload time. It's only the ones which have got a high caliber gun like 152 or an ISU 152 where they've got even longer. That 274A is a one shot. He's waiting for that guy to come around the corner to take him out. He might make the mistake of coming around. In the meantime, we've got a Scorpion come up on the lookout hill. I'm pretty sure that 274A is going to poke. He has, he's come round. Bad decision, and he's out the game. Oh, but he took a round from a 122, and the round bounced off because, of course, the angle of the armor, although it's only 30mm thick, the angle is so acute that most shells will just bounce off unless they're 3 times the caliber or 3 times the thickness of the metal, and so it would have to be a 90mm round, otherwise it bounces off. And there goes the T28 up on top of the hill. So he's now got 2 kills. But it looks like the enemy is coming down off the hill in force. Nice shot into the defender, high roll. Can he get around into that Progetto? No. That's unfortunate. Okay, got a 122 poking on that corner as well. Oh, VK. Well, that one went right behind his turret. But it looks like he is taking severe damage. Can he get the cupola? I think he can. Oh, no he can't now. Somebody else got him. That was the Kanonen Jagdpanzer. You kind of get the feeling he wants to move further down so he can actually get onto that slope where you can drop down into the lower level. It's a trick to actually getting down that hill, is if you're under intense enemy fire, you drop down the hill where that dead tree's sticking up and go down into the dip, because there the enemy in the forest can't see you and they can't get shots on you, and you can approach them without taking any fire in the process. Well, it's 6-all at the moment, so it's even. It could go either way. We know there's a number of enemy tanks up on the hill, but they must realise they're facing a serious number of guns. Oh, the 122 tried to go for the dip and he didn't make it. Yep, our 122 TM took out their one. And there's the defender, but he's hiding behind that wreck. Well, it hit, but it bounced off, I'm afraid. Nothing in sight, so it looks like the enemy, instead of actually deciding to come down the hill, has decided to do something else. Oh, now they're sniping from the top of the hill. Their Progetto just took out our Rebel of Resay. There's a Scorpion popped up on the from the ramp as well, just nearby, and I'm not sure if Clean Sweeper Marksman spotted that, but there he is, just slightly to your right. I think he's aware of he's there now, but the Scorpion's popped back down the ramp. It's a good position to be in, but it's also quite a dangerous position. I tracked him. He got a nice hit for 475 off him as well. And the Scorpion's got back down. And oh, he's taking damage from a AMX cannon d'assaut. And looks like the 122 TM is also being hit. And he's out the game. And it was that CDA that did it. Well, Clean Sweepers decided to depart that area. It may have been him who was spotted by the CDA, but the 122 shouldn't have been there really. He should have been further to the south. It's not a good position for a medium tank to be in. It's a good position for a sniping TD. You can see that the other 122 TM is also down by the lakeside. In fact, their 122 is also coming up close to the cap area, and I think Clean Sweeper Marksman's noticed that, and he's about to put a shot in. There he is. Gets his first pen. It's a low roll, 320. Didn't penetrate. I think that one hit the tracks. Go for it again. Aim for the turret. Nope. I think that one hit the dirt. And the enemy's got a Kanonen Jagdpanzer up here now. That one definitely went in. And the kill shot went to the IC 152 on our team. But we've got a couple of other enemy tanks. Bisonte. Take the shot. He's intermittently coming into view. And we've lost him. I'm pretty sure he's in that dip just north of the field before it rises up to get to the cap area. There's the cap's on the little hill. There's only 3 left on our team, facing 7 opponents. It's a bit of an ask for them to win this now. I think the best they can do is just stay alive as long as they can. Trouble is, there's nearly 5 minutes left on the game. And the enemy's now capping. Now, I guess that's the 122 and the Bisonte in the cap. But somebody's going to have to spot them for us. Well, Clean Sweeper's decided he's going to move forward and see if he can catch sight of them himself. He is higher up the hill, so he should be able to see them. And one of them's popped out. One of them, the 122 TM, was just taken out by the ISU 152, which means there's only one left in. There he is, Bisonte. Oh, that one went right over the turret. But the ISU 152 gets him with the next shell. So that's 3 kills now for the ISU 152. And there's an enemy ISU 152 getting close, but he's outside draw range. He's creating a bit of camouflage for himself at the moment, knocking trees down. There's no Arty. Knocking trees down when there's no Arty is actually quite acceptable, because it's very difficult for enemies to actually see the trees going down in a forest. And the Progetto's coming up behind him. Gonna get a shot in. Needs to get one. Oh, perfect! He didn't get the kill. The kill went to the Canonian Jagdpanzer, but he did do a huge amount of damage. 417. Enabled the Canonian to get the remaining 270. Both fired at exactly the same time, but Clean Sweeper's shell got there that much faster and went right into the engine bay. Now, I'm not sure why he's still looking in this direction. Unless, of course, he's expecting that defender to come down this way. Our Canonian Jagdpanzer just killed the ISU 152, so now it's 3 versus 3. So they've equalised the scores. In fact, they actually more than equalised them, because they've got more hit points left on their team than on the enemy team. On their team, they've got 2,813 hit points, whereas the enemy team's only got 1,612. So it means that the enemy team is badly damaged. He's decided to relocate again, give him a bit of distance between him and any enemy tank coming down the hill. There's our ISU 152. Unfortunately, he's moving through the open at the moment, which makes him a little vulnerable. And he's getting rather close to that Scorpion, if he's still in that dip. Although he does have 100% of his health. There's the CDA. He does get a hit. Unfortunately, the ISU 152 also took some fire. Long reload. And we've lost the ISU 152. The defender got him. So now we're back to 2 versus 3. The one good thing is that Clean Sweeper Marksman does have 20% of the enemy hit pool, so he might have a high caliber. We don't know. There's always a possibility somebody else will have earned almost as much, and they could get the high caliber instead of him, but he's on for a medal, possibly. And that's the last minute hooter. So it's him and the Canonian Jagdpanzer, who's gone all the way down to the south and is near the enemy cap area. He can't cap out, but he's hunting the enemy tanks. He's got near. Oh, and he's just been taken out by the CDA, who must have zoomed all the way back to try and prevent him killing the Scorpion. So it's now 1 versus 2. but I doubt the CDA or the Scorpion will be able to get back in time to find and kill Clean Sweeper Marksman. He's in a very good position, a very defensive position, and with only 15 seconds left on the clock, I think it's almost a certainty he's going to get a draw. He's done it! He's got a draw, even though he was outnumbered. And yep, so he's got a draw. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Here's the end of battle results for that battle in the Strv S1. Clean Sweeper Marksman managed to get a first class tanker in that game. He also managed to get a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, he got 5 exactly, and he did pick up the high caliber for getting the most damage in the game overall, and a win rate of 4,980, which is super Unicum standard. So let's have a look at the team score and see where he stands. 4,193 hit points. The nearest player to him was Canonian Jagdpanzer, who got 3,925, followed by the Scorpion on the enemy team, who also managed to pick up a couple of medals, a Confederate and Tank Sniper. He got 3,328. When it came to kills, it was the Canonian Jagdpanzer who did the best, with 4 kills to him, 3 kills to the ISU 152 on his team, and also to the Bisonte and Progetto and the VK 4502 on the enemy team. I'm afraid Clean Sweeper only got 2 kills alongside the 122 TM and also that CDA on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, he's tops with 736, the next high scorer being the Scorpion with 731, and after that it's the Canonian Jagdpanzer with 681. I'm afraid, yes, it was a drawn game, so obviously the XPs are going to be very similar. 17 shots fired, 14 direct hits, 12 penetrations, damage of 4,193 hit points, of which 2,827 were at more than 300 meters. So some fairly long range shooting up at the top of the hill. 2 hits received, 1 penetration, 1 non-penetration. Now he bounced one of the rounds that came from the 122 DM, and he also received one which was from the CDA that actually did penetrate him. 9 enemy vehicles were damaged, 2 were destroyed, and 2,484 hit points off spotting assist in that game. Or I think damage assist or spotting, it's one of the two. I think it's probably actually damage assist. He earned 121,928 credits from the actual battle itself and 11,520 for courageous resistance. That's for getting an epic or battle hero medal in a losing or drawn game. Well, this one was a drawn one. His total came to 133,448 credits, but after repair, ammunition resupply and consumables, he still took away a massive profit of 90,274 credits. So I think this proves that even if you only get enough damage, just enough, in the Strv S1, you will earn a lot of credits because it does rack up the damage on the enemy. 1,104 XP, 654 for courageous resistance, 176 for this being a premium vehicle. He took away 1,934 experience points altogether. So a pretty good game there for Clean Sweeper Marksman. Wasn't a win. In fact, actually, I think he was fairly relieved at the end of that one that it was just a draw, because after all, he was outnumbered 2-1. And if the enemy had managed to find him, I think they probably would have made quick work of him. But the thing was that they couldn't get back in time. They had to go back to actually kill the Canonian Jagdpanzer, who'd managed to make it all the way round to the south of the map. And that CDA abandoned the position he was in and drove all the way south to save his teammate and killed the Canonian. But they just couldn't get back to find Clean Sweeper Marksman in time. And even if they had tried to, I'm pretty sure that Clean Sweeper Marksman would have put a lot of holes into them when they were trying to catch him. And they potentially could have lost the game at that point by trying to hunt him whilst he was waiting in ambush. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.